Think about this. Right now, invisible waves are literally flying through the air, crashing into the side of your head, and somehow your brain turns all that into the sound of my voice. How is that even possible? It turns out your ear's doing some absolutely crazy heavy lifting. Today, we're going to decode exactly how it works in plain, simple English.
Seriously, I was today years old when I learned this. Did you know you actually get a brand new ear canal every single year? No way, right? But the skin inside your ear canal grows outward so fast, about 1.3 inches a year, that every 12 months, it completely replaces itself.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, the ultimate ear secret.
It all starts with a single sound wave. See, when sound travels through the air, it moves at roughly 330 meters per second. To put that into perspective, that is actually faster than a commercial airplane. These invisible pressure waves are just constantly zipping around you, and your ear's one and only job is to catch them.
Which brings us to Section 2. Welcome to the sound funnel.
Now, the part of the ear you can actually see on the side of your head is called the pinna. Fun fact, your ears literally never stop growing, and they act exactly like a reverse megaphone. They are perfectly shaped to catch invisible frequencies anywhere between 20 and 20,000 hertz and funnel them straight into your head. Now, while we're on the subject of catching air, you might be wondering, why do your ears get all stuffy and pop on an airplane? Well, hold that thought, because we'll solve that mystery in just a second. Moving on to Section 3, your built-in drum kit.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact step-by-step journey of that sound. The outer ear funnels the wave down the dark tunnel of your ear canal, then it crashes into your eardrum, causing it to vibrate, and that instantly moves 3 tiny bones. It is a flawless split-second chain reaction.
Let's zoom in on that eardrum for a second, also known as the tympanic membrane. It's basically this incredibly thin, tightly stretched piece of skin that completely seals off your middle ear. Think of it exactly like a bongo drum, but instead of hands hitting it, it's being played by invisible sound waves. Literally, every single word I'm saying right now is physically vibrating your eardrum. And connected directly to that drum are the ossicles. This is a group of 3 bones: the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. Get this, they are the absolute tiniest bones in the entire human body. If you took all 3 of them and clumped them together, they wouldn't even cover the surface of a single penny. Their job is absolutely crucial. They take those tiny vibrations from the eardrum and dramatically amplify them, making the sound signal so much stronger.
All right, so what about that airplane popping mystery we talked about earlier? Well, because your eardrum completely seals off the middle ear, taking off in a plane actually stretches that drum as the cabin air gets thinner. That's why everything sounds so muffled. But you have this tiny built-in release valve called the eustachian tube connecting your ear right down to your throat. When you swallow or yawn, it opens up, fresh air rushes in to equalize the pressure, and pop, you're back to normal.
Let's move to Section 4, the snail shell and balance, and see how this all builds together.
So this is where the physical vibrations magically turn into electrochemical brain signals. The absolute star of the show here is the cochlea. It looks exactly like a tiny, fluid-filled snail shell. That tiny stirrup bone we just talked about pushes directly into it, creating a literal physical standing waves in the fluid inside. It's exactly like dropping a pebble into a pond.
Now hold up, because I could not believe this part. Inside that fluid, there are 15,000 microscopic hair cells. Yep, 15,000. As those fluid waves wash over them, these little hairs physically bend. And that bending is what triggers the electrical signal that shoots right up into your brain. Without those 15,000 hairs, we literally wouldn't hear a single thing. But hey, the inner ear isn't just for hearing. Attached to that cochlea are 3 fluid-filled loops called the semicircular canals, and they're perfectly set up in 3 different dimensions. When you move your head, the fluid inside them sloshes around, which tells your brain exactly where you are in 3D space. You know that feeling when you start falling asleep sitting up and you suddenly jerk awake? Yeah, that is the fluid in these 3 canals suddenly shifting, screaming at your brain that you're losing your balance. All right, Section 5. Stop cleaning your ears.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is it completely debunks what almost everyone does on a daily basis. Using cotton buds or Q-tips inside your ear is honestly a terrible idea. Shoving a swab in there usually just packs the wax deeper into the canal, which causes a blockage. And worse, if you push too far, you can easily rupture that super delicate eardrum we just learned about. So yeah, definitely don't do that.
The crazy truth here is that your ears are entirely self-cleaning.
Earwax isn't gross. It's basically your body's brilliant built-in flypaper. It's naturally antibacterial and antifungal, trapping dirt and debris way before it can ever reach your inner ear. And the best part? Just the simple acts of talking and chewing your food naturally thin the wax out and work it out of your ear entirely on its own. Moving on to our final takeaway, Section 6, protect your hearing power.
Because this whole system is just so incredibly delicate, you absolutely have to protect it. 85 decibels. That is the danger zone. It only takes a single exposure to a noise of 85 decibels or higher to cause permanent damage to your hearing. And to put that into perspective, just walking through heavy city traffic or eating in a really noisy restaurant can easily hit that limit.
And if the volume goes up, your safe time drops drastically. Sounds hitting 120 decibels, like being at a loud rock concert, can permanently damage your hearing in just 7.5 minutes. Remember those 15,000 fragile little hair cells? Extreme sound waves physically flatten and completely destroy them. And once they're gone, they never grow back.
So the crucial point is, noise-induced hearing loss is totally preventable. If you're going to a concert or you're using power tools, just wear earplugs. It's that simple. When you're using headphones, never push the volume past 80%, and really try to limit your loud listening to about 90 minutes a day. That just gives your ears a much-needed chance to recover.
Your ears are an absolute marvel of biology, constantly turning invisible airwaves into the literal soundtrack of your life. So, what will you do today to protect those 15,000 tiny hair cells so you can keep listening to explainers just like this one? Seriously, think about it. If you want to keep exploring the incredible secrets of how your body actually works in simple, everyday language, hit that subscribe button down below right now, and I will see you in the next explainer.